need to wash this. I keep meaning to do things. Everybody looks so sure, like we knew what was coming. I used to like mornings. Used to like coffee first, emails, numbers that added up the way they were supposed to. Now, nothing adds up. So quiet in here. I used to think quiet meant peace. After long days, after fixing everybody else's problems, after always being the one who knew what to do, quiet felt earned. Now it just feels empty. We were good together. Not the loud kind of good, the steady kind. You knew how I took my coffee, and I knew you liked music when you cooked. We checked in on each other every day. Sometimes it was big. How are you really? Sometimes it was just a look across the room saying, "You okay?" And the answer was always yes, because I was. I trusted you with everything. My mess, my worries, the parts of me I didn't have time to think about. And that kind of love makes you brave, makes you believe you're safe, and I was safe. I don't like mess. Mess feels like something slipping, like if I let one thing sit undone, everything else might follow. I used to wake up before the sun, before the house, before anyone needed anything from me. And for a few seconds, I'd lie still and listen. Marcus breathing beside me. One long inhale, one short exhale. Martin down the hall kicking in his dreams. That boy never stops moving, even when he was unconscious. Myra whispering full conversations in her sleep, calm, serious, like she was negotiating something important with someone only she could see. That was my inventory. Everyone home, everyone breathing. Then my walk. Same route, same cracked sidewalk, same oak tree with the roots pushing through concrete like it refused to stay buried. That's why I prayed. Not loud, not poetic. Lord, keep them safe today. Let me not miss anything. Let me do this right. I believe if I was faithful, God would be faithful back. I believe good things happen to good people. I believe hard work protected you. I look in the mirror, not to criticize, not to admire, just to check. Are you steady today? Are you strong enough? Some days I believed I was. Some days I nodded away. Oh, then there was breakfast. Martin liked his eggs plain, no pepper, no cheese. If I tried to sneak anything in, it's what's that? Cheese? I don't want cheese. I can see it. So I'd start over. Myra wanted everything separate, nothing touching Mom. I cut crusts even when they said they didn't care, because they did. Lunches packed neat, sandwiches cut evenly, notes tucked inside. Be brave, I love you, you got this. I needed my voice to follow them out that door. Mornings were chaos after that. He's touching my backpack. Where's my shoe? I recited the schedule while tying shoelaces. Bus in 8 minutes. Homework in bag? Yes, I checked. Martin would stop at the door every morning, wrap his arms around me. You'll be here when I get back? Yes. Myra pretended she didn't need hugs, but she hugged. I'd open my arms anyway. She'd lean in quick and pull away like it didn't matter. But it mattered. At work, I was the same. Accounting made sense, numbers followed rules. If something didn't add up, there was a reason. So I stayed late, covered for people, fixed mistakes that weren't mine, and people learned that they could lean on me. People also learned that they could rely on me. Monica, could you just... Yes. Monica, do you mind covering? Yes. I didn't mind. Or maybe I did, but I told myself good employees don't complain, so I stayed late, covered for people who left early, fixed reports that weren't mine. I caught errors before they reached the boss, and I never told anyone. The day they called me in, I already knew something was off. The office was quieter, too polite. The HR woman wouldn't look at me directly. When they laid me off, they used soft voices. Budget realignment, restructuring, nothing personal. Nothing personal. They said I was excellent. They said the job wasn't performance-based. They said the company had to make cuts, so I nodded my head like I understood economics, but I watched them. The ones I stayed late to cover for, the ones who missed deadlines, the ones I caught errors before they reached the boss, they were still there, but I was not. I remember packing up my desk, the plant I kept forgetting to water, picture of the four of you at Disney and my mug that said, "World's okayest mom." I carried my box to the car, sat there, and for the first time in years, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. There was no numbers, no columns, no error to locate, just gone. I sat there for about an hour before heading home. Fixed my face in the mirror. But Marcus knew. He always did. He would say, "You're exhausted." I would say, "I'm fine." He would say, "You're not fine." I would say, "It's temporary." You've been saying temporary for years. But he never yelled. He'd sit at the edge of the bed, elbows on his knees, and say, "I miss you." And I'd say, "I'm right here." But being available doesn't mean being present, and I didn't understand that yet. Oh. We don't dance anymore, sweetie. Why don't we do it anymore? Who can't? Come on. Remember, first it's back, then forward, then right, then left, and make sure you don't step on my feet, Mr. Two Left Feet. You always say that, then do it anyway. You never like to dance, but you never say no. You say, "Just one more song," and then pull me back in when it ended. You made everything feel lighter, like no matter how heavy the week got, we'd end up laughing about something stupid. I never felt alone with you, not ever. I remember Thursdays. Our first date was on a Thursday. And after that, we kept choosing Thursdays because it felt steady, not dramatic or fancy, but steady. We'd go to little restaurants with low lights and menus we pretended not to calculate. You always let me order first. You sit there and watch me talk. Not in a distracted way, but in a listening way, like the way I explained my day mattered, even when it was just numbers and spreadsheets. You'd reach across the table and grab my hand just to make sure it was still there. But my favorite Thursdays were at home. Phones face down, television off, the kids peeking around the corner. Is it Thursday? Yes. Does that mean we have to go to bed? Yes. When I tuck them in, they say, have fun, because they like knowing that we chose each other. We sit close on the couch, not near, but close. My legs draped over yours, your hand resting at the small of my back, rubbing small circles there, always in the same spot, like you knew exactly where I carried everything. Sometimes I didn't even notice how tense I was until I dropped my shoulders and you say, you can let it down now. And for a few minutes I would. I'd lean in close to your chest and listen to your heartbeat. I measured safety by that sound. We talked about everything on Thursdays. The kids, money, my job, your worries, the things we didn't have time to say during the week. You'd say, how are you really? It meant it, not surface, not polite, but really. Sometimes I told you, sometimes I said, I'm fine, and you just look at me. And that look said, I'm not leaving this conversation. That's intimacy. Not just touching, but staying. We fought on Thursdays too. Not loud, not cruel. You say, you're overworking again. I'd say it needs to get done. You'd say, at what cost? I'd say, I'm fine. You hated that phrase, I'm fine. You said it was my armor. You grab my hand, say, Monica, I don't need you perfect. I need you here. And I just get quiet because I didn't know how to be here without earning it. That's the worst part. Not just that you're gone, but that I don't have Thursdays anymore. No one asking me how I really am. Nobody checking on me. The week just keeps going and no day belongs to us. I remember we met at Bible study. I wasn't even supposed to go that night. I was tired. I had worked late, but my mom raised me right, so I showed up. I remember you sitting 2 rows ahead of me. And you were nervous, kept bouncing your leg and flipping in between pages like you forgot where we were. When it was your time to speak, your voice cracked. You laughed to yourself embarrassingly, and nobody else noticed, but I did. Afterward, you walked up to me and said, hi, I'm Marcus. I don't usually mess up like that when I speak it. And I said, it's okay. Moses stuttered too. And you laughed, not in a polite way, but in a real way. You asked me out to coffee, and I said yes before even thinking about it. I remember our first date was on a Thursday, and it wasn't tradition yet. We didn't plan it that way. It just happened. We went to a little restaurant downtown with low lights and too many folks on the table. I wore a blue dress I hadn't worn in years. You kept fixing your collar like it wouldn't stay straight. Remember, the server came over and we ordered, and your food came out wrong, and I looked at the server, looked at you, and I could tell you were gonna eat it anyways. So I said, "Excuse me, this isn't what he ordered." And you looked at me like I had done something brave, and you said, "You don't let things slide. You don't let people take advantage of you." I almost laughed at that, but I did it. Instead, I said, "Well, why didn't you speak up?" You said, "I don't like causing trouble." I said, "That wasn't trouble, that was correction." You said, "I think I need someone who corrects things." We stayed later than we expected to, talking about our family, church, about how both our mamas can pray so the whole neighborhood can hear. You told me you wanted a family, not just kids, but a family that liked each other. You also said that you wanted Thursdays, and you didn't know why you said that. You just said it felt like a good day to protect. So we did. We kept choosing Thursdays no matter what. I remember our third date. You walked me to my car, and you didn't try to hold my hand. You didn't rush. You said, "I feel calm around you." Nobody had ever told me that before. I was used to capable, dependable, and strong, but calm? That felt different. And I told you I felt safe around you, and you said, "Then let's keep choosing that." The first time you prayed over us as a couple, you forgot half the words you meant to say, and you stumbled. But your hand was warm in mine. And you said, "God, protect what we're building." And I believed it. I believed that Thursdays were proof that nothing could touch us, that outside of those walls we were solid and we couldn't be shaken. That's the part that hurts. Not just that you're gone, but that I don't have Thursdays anymore. And I don't know where to place that love now that it doesn't have a place to land. The night you proposed, it was mini golf, bright windmills, and kids screaming in the distance. You were terrible, kept overshooting. I laughed so hard my stomach started to hurt, but eventually you stopped joking and you dropped to one knee. Your hand shook so badly you almost dropped the ring. I forgot how to breathe. But I said yes before even thinking about it, because you said my name like it was sacred. That night, it felt ordained, like heaven signed off on us. Okay, let's take a break. So, kids, your mom can dance, huh? Y'all think y'all know everything now, all that jumping around calling it dancing. I don't know what you call that. Oh, this? Oh, this. It's real dancing. Remember I told you? You were scared. Both of you started crying. Said it was too hard. But you never stopped trying. You never quit, and that's what I loved most. I loved being your mom. I loved homework at the table. I loved bedtime stories even when I was tired. The way you ran to me like I was home base. And the summers. Oh, summers were Disney. We'd drive down every year instead of flying because you said it built character, but really it built arguments. Snack wrappers everywhere. The music too loud, and somebody always needing to go to the bathroom. Marty would count down the miles like he could make the car move faster by staring at the number. Myra pretended she was too old to be excited, but she'd sit up straighter every time she saw a sign with a mouse on it. When we pulled into the resort, y'all would put your faces near the glass and just stare like it was your first time every year. We'd check in, drop our bags, and then say, okay, first ride. And Martin would choose the fastest one. Myra acted like she didn't want to go, but she screamed the loudest. By nighttime, they would fall asleep mid-sentence. Wristbands still on, sunburned noses, sticky from cotton candy. I'd sit there and watch them breathe. And I would think, this is it. This is what overtime is for. This is why I carry everything so that we can have this. I believed if I built enough good memories, nothing bad could touch us. But it did. I loved you. And all parents had their doubts. Every parent does. I thought, am I doing enough? Have I been careful enough? But love was never in question, not ever. Then the accident. One careless decision, one drunk driver, 5 minutes.
What's up, baby? I just got the kids. We on the way home now. We should get there in about 5 minutes. I can't wait to see you, beautiful.
5 minutes. God, you had 5 minutes to protect what I had to do every morning at that oak tree. I prayed. I stayed. I was faithful. And I thought you would be faithful back. What kind of plan misses by 5 minutes? What kind of plan needs children? People say God has a plan. Well, what kind of plan looks like that? That's when my faith started shaking. Not all at once, but like fresh glass, still standing. I remember the store when Martin disappeared for a couple minutes. I yelled at Myra, sharp, unfair. And then when I saw him holding a little dinosaur, my knees buckled. I cried in Marcus's arms. I failed. I almost lost him. And he said, but you didn't. That memory kept playing louder in my head. What if I was never right? What if I was missing something? Hey, where did y'all go? You were just late. Y'all look good. A little too good. Is it Sunday? So this is what y'all been doing without me, huh? That's my babies. I missed y'all. I know you missed me too. I'm tired. I didn't tell you that before. I didn't want to worry you. What? No, I'm okay. You here, I'm here, you see? What? Why are you saying it like that? No, I want to stay. Why are y'all dressed like that? Is it Sunday? Are we at church? Is this heaven? Don't look at me like that. I didn't want to die. Y'all left me here by myself to deal with all of this. You want me to stay? Stay for what? Stay back at all of this? Reaching for people who ain't there? No. Just tell me you still need me. I need you. Just tell me again. Just tell me. No, please don't go. I don't know how to do this without you. I don't know how to pray without anger in my mouth. Please don't go. Monica, you got this. You stay. I want you to stay. Just one call. No. Don't give up on me. Come on, just stay awake.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? Please, I need help. 113 Parker Avenue. I don't want to die.
Stay with me, ma'am. Help you on the way.
I stayed. I don't know how to do this, but I'll try. I don't want my last prayer to be an accusation. Maybe faith isn't certainty. Maybe it's just staying and trying. I'm still here, my babies. I'm still here. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this, but I'll love